Welcome back. Amazon Web Services has provided the free tier option, which can be used for launching EC2 instances. However, AWS free tier may not fulfill all of your requirements in many situations, particularly for production use cases. For example, if you were looking for memory-optimized instances, storage-optimized instances, or other types that are not in the free tier. In that case, you will need to look for purchasing EC2 instances. When purchasing EC2 instances, there are different purchasing options. They are on-demand instances, reserved instances, spot instances, dedicated hosts, dedicated instances, and savings plans. In this video, we will talk about on-demand purchasing option. There is no upfront payment when using on-demand instances. You can pay by the hour or the second, minimum 60 seconds, depending on which instances you run, with no long-term commitment. There is no long-term commitment required when you purchase on-demand instances. On-demand instances are not interrupted. As the name says, an on-demand instance is an instance that you use on demand, and you have complete control over its lifecycle. You decide when to launch, stop, hibernate, start, reboot, or terminate it. Let's talk about use cases of on-demand instances. On-demand instances are recommended for the following types of use cases. When you prefer the low cost and flexibility of EC2 instances on demand, to start, stop, hibernate, or terminate an EC2 instance at any time. You are looking for instances with no upfront cost with no long-term commitment. When your use case requires a short-term, unpredictable load pattern, and you don't want the instances to be interrupted. On-demand instances can be an optimal choice when developing or testing applications on EC2 instances. Finally, the key points. Pay for what you use. Each partial instance hour consumed is billed per second for instances launched in Linux, Windows, or Windows with SQL Enterprise, SQL Standard, or SQL Web instances. For all other instance types, each partial instance hour is billed as a full hour. Most costly option, but there is no upfront payment. No long-term commitment. Recommended for short-term and uninterrupted workloads.